Hello YouTube, it is your host HD Samurai here, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm here to bring you guys a new what if, this being what if Naruto had Laxus's abilities. Thank you all so much for tuning into this what if. I'm really excited to bring it to y'all. This idea has been dancing around in my mind, and honestly I'm really excited to present it to y'all. First things first, right before we get started, I do have an announcement to make actually. First things first, thank you guys for the support, obviously, as I had to show my appreciation. But another thing is that, guys, I've been looking back on some of my old what ifs on Great Age where I used to post them, and I gotta admit, I honestly there's actually a what if I want to really redo, mostly due to the fact that I forgot about it, and then thanks to the fact that I forgot about it, I was able to watch it like a viewer, like I was one of you guys, like I was able to watch it like a fan. So I was watching the What If series, and I realized how at the beginning it was really good, but then like at the end, it turns bad, and I'm like, why? I was trying to figure out like why did I do it, but then I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna redo it. Cause right now what I want to do is I make these What Ifs for fun, but the What Ifs can only be fun when the story is actually like flowing smoothly, you know? And honestly, I was kind of upset how I did and how I ended that series, so I plan to redo it. So yeah, and by the way, if you guys don't know what series I'm talking about, it was What If Naruto had a leveling system. The beginning was solid, it was really good, and in some way, midway down the road, I messed up, and, well, if people had seen the ending, they could be very disappointed in it. So yeah, that's why I plan to redo it in the future. Maybe make a What If movie. But yeah, besides that, guys, I do want to thank you all so much for your support. You guys have been amazing with it. And I understand that this intro has gone on for long enough, so why don't we go and get started with it. One more time, thank you all so much for the support. And either way, let's get started.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Alright guys, let's begin this what if. If you can do me a favor and ignore any background noises, that would be doing me really good justice. And besides all this, let's begin. So we now kick off this what if with Iruka, as he was complaining to Hiruzen for the upteen time about Naruto. Lord Kage, I'm sorry for barging in like this, but please, can you please talk to Naruto? He hasn't been in class for 2 weeks now. Hearing this, Hiruzen sighs as he looks down, smoking a little bit from his pipe. I understand, Iruka. You can go now. Hearing this, Iruka would nod his head, thanking Hiruzen, as he would then leave the office, with Hiruzen sighing, looking out the window. Minato, Kishina, what am I going to do with your troublesome child? Hiruzen would think. But as he does, he then goes into deep thought. Although, I am the one to blame for all of this, Hiruzen would say, as he would call up an Anbu, telling him to go look for Naruto, to which he would do. So we now turn our attention to Naruto. who currently right now was sitting in front of a fire. He was wearing a black and white jacket with the sleeves ripped off. Along with that, he was wearing long black shinobi pants and black boots, as he was currently right now seeing himself cooking a meal. He currently had taken down a beast and was right now cooking its body so that he can devour it. But as Naruto was preparing for his meal to be cooked, this is when he then senses a presence. Acting instantly, Naruto pulls out a kunai and throws it at the presence, to which he ends up catching it. Uzumaki, Lord Hokage has asked for your presence. Hearing this, Naruto's eyes would narrow as he clicked his tongue, as he would then get up in annoyance. I already told this old man. Fine. Hearing this, the Anbu then walks over to Naruto, planning to transport him to Hiruzen, but to his shock, Naruto would then vanish in a bolt of lightning. This will surprise the Anbu, as he can do nothing more but stare at the spot, as he would look down at the ground to see that the ground had been burned away due to Naruto's transportation. Wow, so that's the power of the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, the Anbu would say, before using the body flicker to return back to Hiruzen. This is where we now begin to see an origin of Naruto. Flashback. So we start off with Naruto's childhood. The boy was calmly walking around the village, getting looks of disgust and anger from a bunch of the villagers as they look at him. Ew, look at that, it's a demon child. Listen, you stay away from him, okay? Naruto will be hearing one of the parents telling their kids, as he would scoff. Please, lady, as if I want to play with your ugly child. Those would be the mindset of Naruto, as the boy would wander throughout time, ignoring all the looks and moving on with a pissed off expression. Now, Naruto in this timeline would go through the very same thing as he did in canon. He would be ignored by the villagers, treated as an outcast among his own people. However, instead of having the added effect of Naruto trying to gain their attention and acceptance, it had the opposite effect. I don't need you guys. I only need myself. Those were the following words that Naruto had came to after getting scorned from his own village. Naruto relied solely upon himself as he realized that at the end of the day no one was coming to save him. He had no mom or dad to cry on. He had no one to tuck him into bed at night. No, all he had it was himself. At first, Naruto thought he could actually trust some people. He thought he could trust Hiruzen. After all, he's the Hokage. In fact, Naruto very much aspired to be the Hokage. However, over time, Naruto began to realize just how useless Hiruzen truly was. Number one, the man gave him a crappy apartment. Gave him a so-so allowance, already knowing that his village was going to overcharge him. Gave him a shitty jumpsuit, which by the way, Hiruzen did try giving Naruto the orange and, white and blue jumpsuit, to which Naruto in this time, he hated it. And to make it even worse, whenever Naruto had demanded any type of information from the man, Hiruzen would pretend like he didn't know, even though he was the damn Hokage. He had information on everything. Due to this, Naruto lost trust in Hiruzen, quickly at that. And due to this, he began to shun the village, just as they shunned him. Over time, Naruto began to go throughout life, using and relying only on himself and his knowledge. He would go through life relying on his street smart too, that way he can collect some objects such as damaged shinobi equipment, or any food that's legit about to expire in the next day. But either way, it was food, so Naruto went for it. It was rough at first, but as time began to move on, Naruto got the hang of it and quickly began to live life at least decently. At this, Naruto realizing that this crappy apartment was doing no good, he would eventually end up abandoning it and moving to the forest. And there, Naruto, using his own strength and his own skills, legit built himself a small little shack made out of leaves and the wood that's around the forest. He also began to hunt down animals for training. And not only that, Naruto even got himself his own shinobi equipment by scavenging throughout the battlefields or the battlegrounds that were completely ignored. And just like that, we begin to see the birth of this current Naruto. As we see the boy currently right now at 10 years old, as we now have to return back to the present. Naruto would be calmly entering into Hiruzen's office, as Hiruzen would be there looking at Naruto. Ah, Naruto, how are you? At this, Naruto ignores Hiruzen's playfulness as he goes straight to the point. What do you want, old man? I got things to do. Hearing this, Hiruzen instantly lost a grandfatherly smile as he looked at Naruto with a sad expression. He sighed before beginning to explain to Naruto that it was about time for him to return back to the Shinobi Academy. Naruto, it's been 2 weeks now. Come on, can you please return back to the academy? Look, I understand it's not exactly the place that you want to be, but if you want to become Hokage and if you want to become a shinobi of this village, but this is when Naruto stops Hiruzen right there. I said I wanted to become Hokage, but that was when I was a child, old man. I don't want that foolish dream anymore. Go ahead and continue being a servant for this dumb village. And going to the academy? Please. Why would I want to go over there and play shinobi with a bunch of spoiled ass kids who don't know the one thing about the real world? Hearing this, Hiruzen winces at the cold tone that Naruto was hitting him with. Before realizing that Naruto was not going to even talk to him, Hiruzen decided to switch from being a playful grandfatherly figure to actually being a stone cold leader. He was the Hokage after all, and he wouldn't let Naruto boss him around. So with that, Hiruzen began to release this unimaginable pressure onto Naruto. Alright, and tell me right now, why exactly do you think I would just allow you to walk away, huh? I am the leader of this village, Naruto, and you live in my village, and you will do as I say, Hiruzen would say. He was upset that things had to get to this point, but either way, Naruto was acting like a spoiled brat, so he had to do something. However, instead of making Naruto be afraid, Naruto instead resorted to violence as he instantly erupts with lightning all over, as he stares angrily at Hiruzen. Don't you dare act like you can give me commands, old man. You did nothing before my entire life, so why are you gonna act like you care now? Do me a favor. You can go ahead and take that long stick of commands you have and shove it up your ass. After saying this, Naruto then blitzes in a bolt of lightning, leaving Hiruzen's office and bursting through the roof. Seeing this, Hiruzen sighed as the Anbu member then returns to see the chaos that had happened, as Hiruzen would tell them to look for a man to fix this, as he sighs and walks off, saying that he needed a break. Minato, Kushina, I'm really sorry, he would say. As right now, Hiruzen had to shake himself of those worries and have to figure out another way how to convince Naruto. However, as Hiruzen had that thought, he was also thinking about something else. About how strong Naruto had become. To think, even though he's usually all by himself, the boy is able to become this strong. Minato, I can't believe you've really born a true monster. And he doesn't even need the Nine Tails for it, Hiruzen would say, as he tried his hardest not to smirk. Although Hiruzen hated to admit it, He can't deny that Naruto's strength far surpassed that of any kid in the academy. Heck, he can very well bet that Naruto can take care of any kid that's a genin. And he would go so far as to say that Naruto can rival that of anyone who is low tuning. Naruto's strength as a kid was definitely that of a prodigy. Now, unfortunately, he was not like on the levels of Kakashi or Itachi or Minato, but Naruto definitely was a prodigy in his own right. It may be due to the fact that he lived on the streets or the fact that he had no one to rely on, but Naruto, thanks to his knowledge and thanks to the fact of how he grew up, Naruto had became a master of hard work. He was able to push himself to learn any technique that was attainable to him, and due to this, Naruto already at a young age was able to develop this lightning affinity. Now, Hiruzen hated to admit it, but Naruto's lightning affinity was that of anything else he'd seen. At first, he thought that Naruto may have potential for storm release, but it wasn't that. In fact, Naruto's lightning seemed far stronger. And to think he attained all this at the solemn age of 10. Hiruzen was so in shock of this that he honestly wondered if maybe he should just let Naruto pass the academy and just bump up the ranks. But if doing so, and due to the fact that Naruto was quite unstable, or at least that's how Hiruzen sees it, and also due to the fact that he didn't have any connections, Hiruzen did not go through with the promotion. However, if Naruto actually had some connections, and also due to the fact that he was 100% loyal to Konoha, Hiruzen would have definitely allowed Naruto to actually bump up and it actually goes straight to tuning. But unfortunately, he decided not to allow it. As Hiruzen said, as he continues walking, already trying to think of ways to persuade Naruto to go into the academy, we now turn our attention to Naruto. The boy would arrive back at his home in a bowl of lightning as he clenches his fist, honestly almost bleeding due to how much he was putting pressure on it. Damn Hiruzen, acting as if he has the right to give me any commands. Dumb old man. As Naruto would say this, he begins to feel his anger bubbling as he looks at a tree before his fist ignites into lightning. Lightning hammer, Naruto would shout as he punches a tree with his lightning fist, causing it to be destroyed and sent flying. As he would look at the destruction he caused, Naruto would look back at his fist before scoffing and going back to his meal. As this is where we then have a time skip. For the next following days, Hiruzen contemplates a way to bring Naruto to the academy. However, each one of these ways, he continues declining or failing on every single one of them, or just shut down the plan entirely, considering the fact that each one of them have their own risk. He thought about giving Naruto a tutor. However, with Naruto's distrust from the village, as well as the fact that not a lot of shinobis want to train Naruto, that would just add up with a lot of distrust from Naruto, and even even pushing Naruto over the edge to leave the village. Another idea that Hiruzen had was training Naruto himself, to which he instantly scrapped the idea. The reason for this one was pretty simple. The uproar that the villagers would throw, knowing that the Hokage was training the very thing that tried to destroy their village, it would cause them to actually be mad at Hiruzen and even push him out of power, and giving it to someone who was unworthy like Danzo, which will be way worse. So due to this, Hiruzen scrapped the idea. Now Hiruzen even thought about bribing Naruto with jutsus. However, he instantly scrapped the idea, mostly due to the fact that although he needed to admit it, he wasn't 100% sure that Naruto was even loyal to Konoha anymore. Mostly due to the fact of Naruto having no one here or having no friends, no companions, no one to even talk to. And not only that, but also due to the fact that Naruto, with all the disjustice that this boy was put through, who wouldn't be distrustful or who wouldn't want to get revenge? So due to this, Hiruzen would instantly scrap the idea. So after a while of thinking, Hiruzen would then finally end up thinking of a way, and that was to make a deal with Naruto. Boy, you really are putting me through the ringer on this one, Hiruzen would say as he sighs before body flickering over to Naruto's location. So we now turn to Naruto's location. We see Hiruzen arrive as he ends up taking a good look at the area. It looks like he has remodeled quite a bit since I last been here, Hiruzen would say as he would take in the scenery, before he ends up hearing something huge slam behind him as he turns around to see Naruto. As he does, he sees Naruto having this ginormous bear on his back as he will stare at Hiruzen with a blank look. What are you doing here, old man? Hearing this, Hiruzen sweat drops at seeing this casual ginormous creature getting carried by this young child. As he chuckles a little bit, we would then move forward. Now we move forward to see Naruto and Hiruzen as they were currently right now sitting down in front of Naruto's house, or cabin, whatever you want to call it. As Naruto was calmly eating the bear, Hiruzen would be there looking at the plate as he also begins to eat, actually being surprised at how good it was. "This is delicious," Hiruzen would say. At this, Naruto would nod his head, saying, "I know." Now, Naruto, thanks to the fact he had to live by himself, that means he also had to cook by himself. He had to learn how to clean by himself. Naruto had to do everything by himself. So due to this, the man had developed a lot of life skills. And due to this, Hiruzen can do nothing more but wince once again, knowing how poorly he had truly taken care of the boy. So we now turn our attention to after the meal, as Hiruzen, after finishing the meal, he would thank Naruto, to which Naruto would throw a jab, saying that at least he knew how to be good to people, to which Hiruzen would wince. Look, Naruto, I understand I haven't done the best for you, to which Naruto would scoff at hearing that. As Hiruzen would wince once again, he began to explain to Naruto a deal, saying that if Naruto went to the Shinobi Academy, he would pay Naruto, giving him money, supply, whatever Naruto wanted, as long as it was within his reach. Now, this would interest Naruto, but Hiruzen would then finish saying that there will be some limits to what Naruto could get, causing Naruto to scowl, but in the end of the day, it was still a good deal. So after saying this, Hiruzen would then look at Naruto. So, do we have a deal? Hiruzen would then stretch out his hand, to which Naruto would scoff, as he just nods his head, not shaking Hiruzen's hand. Seeing this, Hiruzen once again winces but nods his head. However, as he was about to get up, Naruto would then vanish in a bolt of lightning before appearing right beside Hiruzen, and he will begin to whisper into Hiruzen's ear as his eyes go wide. I'll play along with your little deal. However, if even for a second I think you're going to double cross me or you're going to break this contract, I don't give a damn if you are Hokage. I don't give a damn about what number of shinobis are sent my way. I will kill you. Finishing off this sentence, Hiruzen's eyes will go wide as Naruto will then vanish in a bolt of lightning, going into the forest to look for more food, as Hiruzen just stays there looking off in a daze before walking away sadly. We now move forward, as this is where we see Naruto's arrival at the academy. Naruto would arrive first day there, as he walks into a classroom earlier than everyone else, as he sits down before calmly looking out the window with a bored expression. Later on, multiple students begin to fall in, with many people wondering who this new kid was. Now, eventually, Iruka would eventually arrive into class, as soon as he does, he will look around before finally seeing Naruto. Oh, Uzumaki, glad you could finally end up making your appearance. Hearing this, all students will actually look at Naruto in surprise, as Naruto actually became a legend, the kid who never showed up. Throughout the entire time in the academy, Naruto not once did he ever show up for class, never. Now, due to this, many kids in the academy speculated about what happened to him. Many people thinking that he was eaten or was killed, many people saying that he went off and actually left the village, and having multiple fan theories and everything about what happened to him. But at the end of the day, they were surprised to see him there. So after settling and calming everyone down, Iruka would then continue on with the class, as well as keeping a close eye on Naruto, as this is where we end up having a time skip. For the next following days, ever since Naruto arrived into class, things have been quite hectic. At first, Iruka had tried to make an example out of Naruto. After all, the man had never appeared into class, so of course he tried to punish Naruto by pretty much making fun of him for not knowing the material. However, this backfired on Iruka hard, as Naruto would answer the questions in a heartbeat. The kid was spot on with his information, even mocking Iruka, saying that if he wanted to go into deeper information, then he can probably sit down and let him teach the class. This would cause many of the kids to be surprised. They're like, oh my god, he said it, as Iruka would be embarrassed. After a while, he just stopped calling on to Naruto in general, considering the fact the boy did know his stuff, and although Iruka hated to admit it, Naruto was actually far beyond everyone else in the class. However, one person was not cool with it, Sasuke, as he would look at Naruto as he tried to find out who exactly this boy was, and Naruto pretty much ignored the Uchiha. Now, eventually, as time began to move on to class, it was eventually time for examinations. Now, many kids will begin to get paired up, as at first was the kunai throwing test, then the shuriken throwing test, and so far only 2 students sticked out more than the most. Sasuke, as he would get a 9 and an 8 on both shuriken and in kunai, and Naruto getting a straight 10 out of 10 on every single one of them. This would shock everyone, especially since the kid has never been in the academy, with Kiba pointing at Naruto saying that he was a cheater, considering the fact that, Naruto wasn't in the academy. How could he be this powerful? But Naruto would ignore the boys, telling him to shut up like the good dog that he was. This will piss off Kiba, as this is when Iruka would then finally get to the one-on-one fights. Now, as the fights began to get called out, Iruka would then call out Naruto's name, and he would be paired up with Sasuke. Now at this, Iruka would signal both of them into the ring, to which Naruto will walk over there with his hand in his pockets, and Sasuke will walk over there as well. As both boys would stand there, Sasuke would then get into a stance as he would stare at Naruto, to which Naruto scoffs. Let's get this over with, Uchiha. I got better things to do. This will piss off Sasuke, as his fangirls would get angry as they cheer for Sasuke, telling him to beat up Naruto. However, surprisingly on Naruto's side, he would actually have a bunch of fangirls screaming at him to beat up Sasuke, as every single one of them were cheering for him. And the reason for this was quite simple. You see, thanks to the fact of Naruto's reputation, as well as the fact of how he looks, many of the girls begin to realize Naruto is a bad boy. And a lot of those girls actually really like bad boys, so of course they actually fell for Naruto. Due to this, Naruto actually has a fan club, and it gets pretty weird and creepy, but Naruto just straight up ignores them. And whenever he does whatever he does, it doesn't really matter to Naruto, considering the fact he is away from the village at all times. He's always in the forest. As we now turn our attention back to the fight, we see Iruka looking at both sides, making sure that they're good to go. Ready? Begin! With those following words, Sasuke looks at Naruto, preparing for any attacks he throws at him. As soon as he gets in close, I'll finish him off, Sasuke would think. However, Naruto would just blitz Sasuke in an instant, as he would appear right in front of him and slightly shove Sasuke out the arena, pushing him down on his butt. I win. There. Is it over? At this, everyone will be surprised of Naruto's speed, as well as Sasuke, as he was so in shock that he didn't even realize that he lost. Hey, I won, didn't I? Hearing this, Iruka shakes out of his shock, as he would shakingly say that Naruto was the winner. Everyone was so in shock of what Naruto had done, until the fangirls began to scream for Naruto, cheering for him on, and saying how much they love him and everything, to which Naruto just scoffs and walks away. Leaving Sasuke there, who's right now was finally getting out of the shock daze, as he would begin to glare at Naruto's direction. I didn't even get to put up a fight, Sasuke would think. At this, Iruka walks over to Sasuke, making sure he was okay, to which Sasuke would scoff and get up, saying that he was fine. And after doing so, he begins to walk back to his spot in the crowd. However, as he does, he takes one more look at Naruto, and he promises that he will never let something like that happen again. As this is where we now begin to do a time skip. So for the next following days after that event, the academy will go by in a flash. 2 years will begin to pass, as Naruto and the rest of them would then turn 12. And due to that, Naruto would excel throughout the entire time in the academy. He would excel at jutsus, he would excel at his studies, he would excel at being the best in combat. Naruto would easily climb the ranks, easily surpassing Sakura in intelligence, Sasuke in strength. He was at the top of the class. Eventually, even half of Sasuke's fangirls or instantly transferred to being Naruto's fangirls, just to how popular he was becoming. As for Naruto, he didn't give a damn about the achievements, he didn't give a damn about the newfound population he had. Naruto didn't care about it at all. All he cared about was that he was fulfilling his end of the deal, and that Hiruzen was fulfilling his own end of the deal. If it wasn't for that deal, Naruto would even be in this academy. However, as Naruto does, Hiruzen does end up following throughout the deal, as he does give Naruto money, resources, and anything that Naruto wants, as long as it's not thing that breaks Hiruzen's rules. Now, Naruto, of course, understands the limitation, as Naruto will be asking for other sets of clothing, he'll be asking for different types of shoes, he would ask for, supplies such as food, or like actual wood, so that way he can continue building out his house, as Naruto has not given up on that shit. Like, that man is building it. It's still not perfected, but Naruto now, he has like this wooden mansion practically. However, half of it is pretty much storing like his equipment or what he needs. As Naruto would go throughout life in the academy, he also would end up actually having a rival. However, it's only one-sided, as Sasuke would view Naruto as a rival, as a person who he can measure himself up to. And due to this, Sasuke will push himself daily, harder and harder, as he tries to reach Naruto's level, but always falls short as he couldn't end up reaching it. And due to this, Sasuke would get more and more frustrated as he dives even further into his hatred. Eventually, as we now turn to the final days of the academy, we see Naruto as he will be called up in front of the class to perform the 3 jutsus: substitution, transformation, and the clone jutsu. Naruto walks up in front of the class, and I'm not going to spare the details as Naruto does these with ease, as Naruto's chakra control is very well. However, for the clone, Naruto actually developed a new technique. He developed something known as lightning clones. Now, unlike shadow clones or like wood clones or really even the standard clone, lightning clones were different. Naruto doesn't gain their memories. That's of course a sad thing. However, they do function like shadow clones. Instead, when they are destroyed, it actually causes paralysis instantly. And speaking about Naruto's power, we also begin to see an evolution in that, as we see throughout Naruto's time in the academy, as Naruto would return back in the forest, all he would do was train. Train, eat, or sleep, those were the only things that Naruto goed for. Of course, there were other things such as cooking and all that stuff, but still, training was one of the main things that Naruto did with his free time. And due to this, Naruto had increased the raw power of his, lightning affinity. After all, it was the thing he was able to do naturally, almost as if he was breathing. So that was the one that Naruto tested out the most. But not only that, we also see throughout the years that Naruto ended up making many techniques. As these techniques, although most of them were meant for certain situations, Some of them were actually really good in combat, as for example, the lightning clones. As we turn our attention back to the present, we see Naruto finally getting his headband. Naruto would demand for a black one, to which of course Iruka would give it to him. As doing so, Naruto would then wrap it around his waist like a belt. Now, after doing this, Naruto would then turn to Mizuki, who was a teacher who had just joined during the end of the first semester. Now, of course, seeing Mizuki there, as the man was smiling at Naruto, Naruto could easily sense the amount of hatred he was oozing out. And due to this, Naruto would then send the man a cocky smirk, causing Mizuki to actually, twitch a little bit, and also gain a pretty big tick mark on the back of his head. Damn disgusting Ninetales brat! How dare you smile at me like that? Oh, don't worry. Once I attain the power, and once I give it to Orochimaru, I'll come back to take care of you personally, Mizuki would say as he looks directly at Naruto as he walks off before going back to his home. So we eventually end up moving to Nightfall, to which the scroll getting taken would still happen. Mizuki would be dumb enough to try, as he would try getting the scroll from Hiruzen, and luckily he ends up succeeding. However, Hiruzen ends up catching a glimpse of Mizuki just as he makes his escape, causing Mizuki to curse, as Hiruzen would call out to his Anbu to look for him. Now this will end up causing Anbu and also Shinobi from all over to look for Mizuki, as the man will run away cursing the fact that he got caught. As he was running through the forest, he ended up jumping from tree to tree before eventually he ends up arriving at a strange location. Is that a shack? He would say, as you look at this shack as well as a fire burning out in the middle of the woods. This will confuse Mizuki as well as also cause him to be a bit unnerved, until eventually he ends up seeing someone walk out, and this ends up causing a smile on his face. Well, if it isn't my lucky day, Mizuki would say as he looks down. As we see Naruto calmly walk out, he will then begin to spark slightly with electricity as he ends up looking up. Oh, it's you. What do you want? Seeing this and hearing his blunt and rude attitude, Mizuki will laugh as he looks at Naruto. I'm gonna enjoy cutting you down, Ninetales. Even if I don't successfully leave the village, at least I can bring you down with me. As after saying this, Mizuki would then take off the Fuma Shuriken that he had on his back as he would throw it at Naruto with intentions to kill. However, to his surprise, Naruto would easily catch the Fuma Shuriken, sighing as he throws it into the fire, causing the fire to erupt even further. Naruto decides he takes him a deep breath before looking at Mizuki. And now, you're dead. Hearing this, Mizuki's eyes would go wide as Naruto would then erupt with electricity. Lightning armor, Naruto would shout in his mind, as this is when he then pulls out Ikuna as he vanishes, dashing and appearing right beside Mizuki. He's so fast, Mizuki would say, as this is when suddenly he ends up getting a ginormous cut on his face, causing him to scream out as he falls over as he was bleeding on his face. Wait, stop right there! Don't get closer to me, you demon! Mizuki would shout, but Naruto didn't hear him as he then breaks Mizuki's kneecaps, causing him to scream out in pain as he looks at Naruto. You know what? Damn it all! Damn you, you demon! At this, Mizuki then gets an idea. You want to know why you're called demon? Huh? At this, Mizuki was about to open his mouth to reveal the Ninetales, but this is when Naruto then kills him. In a swift motion, Naruto ends up chopping off the head of Mizuki, causing his body to fall limp and causing his head to fall over. Don't worry, I already know, Naruto would say, as Mizuki, right before death, he ends up hearing this as his eyes go wide, before finally, just as he dies, his final thought being that Naruto truly was a monster. So after Mizuki's death, Naruto would look at the body in disgust, as this is when the Anbu would then finally arrive. Oh good, you guys are here, took you long enough. Hurry up and take this ugly bastard away from me. Already reeks of his scent, Naruto would say as he holds in his breath, not wanting to smell Mizuki's disgusting scent. The Anbu can do nothing more but be baffled about what happened before nodding, taking away Mizuki's body, as Naruto will return back as he begins cooking up his meal. As we now turn to the next day. So the next day finally rolls by as Mizuki's death is now spread out throughout the entire village. Naruto ends up going to the academy, of course, as this was finally where they're going to be put on teams. As eventually everyone begins to walk in after hearing about the news, they weren't shocked. However, what Hiruzen made sure they did though was they hid the information about who took out Mizuki, and also tell them that the scroll ceiling was safe, of course. Because if people found out that Naruto was killing again, this will cause them to think that the Ninetales was coming back and was ready for vengeance. So of course, Hiruzen kept it on the down low. So eventually, we now turn back to the class as eventually Ruka would arrive and begin to tell everyone their teams. Eventually, we get to Team 7 where the team would still be the same, Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. Now, this will cause the class to go into an uproar, mostly due to the fact that, Like, this entire team is busted. What? They got the top Kunoichi, and they got the Rookie of the Year, and not only that, but they also got the person who came second place to the Rookie of the Year. To which Sasuke, hearing this, would of course get pissed off, as Iruka would try to calm everyone down, saying that it was ordered by the Hokage and that he cannot change things. Now, although many people want to complain about it, we still had no choice but to move on, so eventually the rest of the teams would then be called, as after that Iruka would then leave, telling them all that they have to wait for their senseis. As eventually, one by one, all the senseis would end up arriving, Team 7 sensei, aka Kakashi, does not appear until 3 hours. In those 3 hours, Sakura was trying to flirt with Sasuke, but eventually was not doing anything, and as time began to pass, she again gets mad that Kakashi was not arriving. Sasuke was also pissed off, but instead of, screaming, he had, of course, had to be like that cool Uchiha, so he brooded, but you could see that he was pissed off due to the fact that he had an angry tick on the back of his head. And finally, there was Naruto. The boy left the classroom like a whole minute ago. As soon as Kakashi wasn't arriving at the first 5 minutes, Naruto dipped out of the classroom. He left so fast that Sasuke and Sakura still haven't noticed that he left. Naruto spent most of the time training, cooking up meals, and mostly spent his time, getting stronger. As eventually Kakashi would arrive at the class, he would look around to see that Naruto wasn't there. Now this was a surprise Kakashi, but in the end of the day, he had stuff to do, so he moved on, telling him to meet him on the roof while also letting them know that he thought that they were boring. This will piss off both Sasuke and Sakura, but they still left, and as they do, we end up turning our attention to Kakashi, as soon as he arrives on the rooftop, he would actually arrive there second to Naruto. Now this will surprise Kakashi as he looks at Naruto, wondering where he'd been, to which Naruto shrugs. I've been here, I've been there, but the next time you make me wait, I'll beat the crap out of you. Now this will surprise Kakashi as he shrugs, thinking that, even if Naruto is the Rookie of the Year, and even if he could accomplish it, there was no way he could actually do it, right? Right? Eventually Sasuke and Sakura would end up arriving as they would be surprised of Naruto's arrival, and although they had many questions, now was not the time, so they began with their introductions. Not much really changes from the introductions from canon, as Sasuke would still do his little emo crap, Sakura being a fangirl, she would do what she wants, but Naruto's introduction will be different. He barely gives any information. Similar to Kakashi, Naruto says his name and his last name. However, as he does, he would then finish there saying that his likes he didn't want to get because he doesn't trust them. His dislikes he doesn't give it to them because he doesn't trust them. And finally, his goal, which obviously he doesn't give it to them because he doesn't trust them. He makes it very clear that he doesn't trust any of them, and he will stare into every single one of their eyes. Now, this will cause Sakura to shudder a little bit, considering the fact that Naruto was terrifying to her. Even caused Sasuke to actually look at him with raised eyebrows. He never seen someone this untrustful to others. Heck, Naruto may have more trust issues than even him, and that's saying a lot. So eventually, after doing this, Kakashi sighs as he tells them to meet him on the training ground, as he would then end up, doing the body flicker. But as he does end up telling them not to eat lunch or else they'll throw up. Now, Naruto doesn't listen to him. After all, he doesn't trust Kakashi, so he just leaves and goes back to his home, with Sakura and Sasuke just doing their own thing. So eventually, the day of the exam ended up arriving, as Kakashi would again arriving 3 hours late, as Naruto would actually arrive just at the time Kakashi arrived. I told you to be here early, Kakashi would say. At this, Naruto then looks at him. And I told you the sky is blue. At this, Kakashi was confused as he asked Naruto what did he mean, to which Naruto then scoffs. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were both stating the obvious. At this, Kakashi gains a take more, already knowing that Naruto was going to be a troublemaker, as he tells him to join his other teammates. Eventually, Kakashi ends up taking out the 2 bells and telling him about the bell test. He tells them that each one of them had to take at least one of these bells, and if they do, then I'm passing, and anyone who doesn't get the bells ends up failing. This will cause Sakura to instantly get off her high horse, mostly due to the fact that she already knew that there was no way she can get the bells from Sasuke or Naruto or Kakashi. So seeing this, Sakura ends up looking sad, but she then decides, if she's able to help Sasuke, and then maybe after next year, they can probably end up hooking up. So she decides to move on with that. So eventually, after looking around, Kakashi will then tell them to begin, causing every single one to spread out and go into the forest. Now, Kakashi is easily able to keep track of both Sakura and Sasuke. Naruto, however, is a different threat on his own. He can't sense anything, breathing, footsteps. Even the very life presence of Naruto, it's nowhere there, almost as if he was dead. Now, this will cause Kakashi to swell a little bit. He is known as the Rookie of the Year for a reason. There's also that information that Lord Hokage gave me, Kakashi would say, as we then have a flashback. Right before Kakashi went off to pick up his team, after reading a few pages of Icha, he then prepares to leave, but as he does, Hiruzen wouldn't stop him. Oh yeah, and Kakashi, I understand how you work, I understand how you roll, but let me give you an answer right now. Don't even think for a second to underestimate Naruto, okay? He may look young, but he is definitely Minato's son. So listen to me closely when I tell you this. Don't underestimate him for even a second, because if you do, you'll die. As Hiruzen would say this, we then turn back to the present this is when suddenly Naruto ended up blitzing out the forest in a bolt of lightning. This would surprise Kakashi as he ends up dodging out the way. He's fast. As he does, the lightning bolt will then transform into Naruto again, as Naruto would then rush at Kakashi with a bunch of jabs. Now, of course, Kakashi ended up blocking, dodging out of the way and even blocking these hits, as he tells Naruto he was expecting more from the Rookie of the Year. Naruto scoffs as he tries to sweep kick Kakashi, but Kakashi would then jump back. Now, seeing Kakashi in the air, Naruto then smirks as he ends up once again vanishing in a bolt of lightning before appearing above Kakashi, delivering a powerful kick. Now, Kakashi would be, of course, surprised at this as he tries blocking the kick casually, but to his surprise, the kick had way more force. Holy crap! At this, he would then be sent flying and crashing into the ground, actually cratering, my gosh, I messed up, sorry, as he would end up cratering into the ground before eventually ended up getting up. Wow, I mean, you sure are the Rookie of the Year for a reason, Kakashi would say as he dusts himself off. But as he does, he sees Naruto from above, ready to jump down and punch him. And as he does, Kakashi ends up casually dodging out of the way of the punch and ends up punching Naruto in the gut. So much for the Rookie of the Year, though. You still have a long way to go. Hearing this, however, Kakashi would end up hearing Naruto laugh. I'm sorry, but you was a long way to go. At this, Kakashi's eyes would then go wide as this is when the clone would then explode into a burst of lightning, actually paralyzing Kakashi as he couldn't move. What? I can't move. As Kakashi tried to move or try to move out the way, unfortunately he was too late as this is when Naruto ended up blitzing out the forest in a stream of lightning as he was currently in his lightning armor, which brings a boost to both his speed and strength. Naruto ended up appearing and grabbing one of the bells on Kakashi's holster as he would then end up appearing right behind Kakashi. Well, look what I got. At this, Kakashi's eyes would go wide as he already could tell that one of the bells were gone. Damn it, that report definitely wasn't lying. This kid is definitely in a league of his own. At this, Kakashi would sigh as he could already tell, just from this small instance, that Naruto was far beyond his other teammates. And in fact, he could clearly see that Naruto might be far beyond any Genin at this point. Minato-sensei, your son, he truly is amazing, just like you. As Kakashi would say this, finally the paralysis finally begins to let go, causing him to move, which surprises Naruto. Are you kidding me? The amount of voltage should have made him stop moving for a total of 5 minutes. It's only been 2. As Naruto would stare at Kakashi, Kakashi begins to stretch as he looks at Naruto. Very good, Naruto. Alright, you truly deserve that bell. You caught me off guard, but don't think it will happen next time. At this, Naruto says nothing more as he stares directly at Kakashi with distrustful eyes, to which Kakashi ends up smiling, giving him an eye smile. Well then, I'm gonna go hunt down your other teammates. Since you won, you can go get your bento. Seeing this, Naruto just nods his head as Kakashi would dash off looking for his teammates, but Naruto would stay on guard. After all, he doesn't know, maybe Kakashi would try getting the bells back from him. So we now move on to the end of the test, as both Sasuke and Sakura are actually tied to the pole on this one. At this, Naruto will be there as he casually ends up eating his food, as Kakashi would tell them that they had failed the test and that only Naruto was the one to pass. He ends up telling Sasuke that he was arrogant, thinking that he can take on Kakashi all by himself, and saying that thanks to his obnoxious pride, he was unable to ask others for help. He also begins to blame Sakura, saying that all she did was fangirl about Sasuke, and honestly, she didn't even give a shot at Kakashi, already thinking that she had already failed. And Kakashi tells her that with that mentality, it's not really good to become a shinobi due to the fact that if you have that mentality and you go into battle, what will you do as soon as you see someone who's a bigger threat than you? Will you fold instantly and surrender to them? Or what are you doing if you're interrogated? This will cause Sakura to look down in shame and Sasuke to be even more pissed off, as the reason why he didn't ask for help is because after he saw Naruto's amazing display, he of course felt, his inferiority complex began to flare up. And due to this, Sasuke not wanting to be outdone by Naruto, he didn't rely on help and he tried doing it by himself like Naruto did. As Kakashi would tell Naruto not to feed them, Naruto just nods his head as he casually just begins to eat his food right in front of his teammates. As he does, Sasuke and Sakura will look away as their stomachs would grumble, as Naruto would sigh, already feeling full, but he was only halfway done with the food. Naruto sighed as this is when suddenly he ends up cutting off the ropes of both Sasuke and Sakura. Hurry up and eat, I'm not hungry anymore, Naruto would say. At this, Sasuke and Sakura are surprised as they look at Naruto, as to them, Naruto was being selfless. He's showing that he cared and that he cared for the team, but they couldn't have been more wrong. The reason why Naruto was doing this was for another shot at Kakashi. The reason for this one was pretty simple. After the battle, Kakashi told Naruto that something like this would never happen again. And now, of course, that's in Naruto's eyes, that's Kakashi underestimating him even further. So due to this, and Naruto not taking that disrespect, he of course wanted to run the ones with him one last time. As if it doesn't matter how strong you are. I don't give a damn if you're the Hokage, if you're a top tier Jonin or Anbu. I'll bring you down. Just as Naruto says this, he ends up feeling a presence as rushing out of the forest. We will see Kakashi ends up looming over the group. Thunderstorms begin to cloud up the sky as he tells Naruto why did he free both Sasuke and Sakura. Now at this, Naruto scoffs, saying that he was not afraid of Kakashi and for him to bring gas. He then erupts with his lightning armor. He will stare at Kakashi with a smile on his face, as this is when suddenly Sakura and Sasuke then also get up, telling Kakashi that they were a team. Hearing this, Naruto will be caught off guard. What? No. As he was about to explain to them like he did not want to be part of this team. In fact, he was gladly willing to let them go back to the academy. But too late for him though, as Kakashi went in releasing the pressure as he smiles at them, telling them that they passed. As he explained that the whole point of this test was teamwork, and that they were to, if Naruto were not to cut them, they would all have returned back to the academy. Now, this will cause both Sasuke and Sakura to be surprised and to cheer, with Sasuke, just doing his casual smirk. But Naruto was downright furious. What? At this, he was screaming mentally as he looks directly at Kakashi, who begins to explain about the memorial, but Naruto didn't give a damn about that. This entire test was rigged for Naruto to fail either way. Naruto didn't give a damn as he returned back to the academy. After all, he could just simply drop out, and if he wanted to, he could just leave the village. Who was going to stop him? In fact, Naruto was confident he practically outsped everyone except for the Hokage, and the fact that lazy old bastard getting up from his chair, that would be impossible. But another thing was the fact that Naruto, either way, he had to end it up with some people that he didn't end up trusting at all. Naruto only relied on himself. He only cared about himself. So due to this, Naruto was pissed off at this. As Kakashi would smile at the team, giving them a thumbs up and tell them that they're now officially Team 7, Naruto would just walk off, getting pissed off, as Kakashi would tell them to meet back later on, to which Naruto would just give him the finger. As eventually we now do a time skip for the next following days. After those days, the Team 7 would then be given D-rank missions. Although Hiruzen, as he gave them, he didn't quite enjoy it anymore, mostly due to the fact of the glares from Sasuke and Sakura, but the glare especially from Naruto. Naruto was looking at Hiruzen as if this man had slaughtered his entire family. As legit, Naruto hated this man more than he ever did before. At this, Hiruzen sighed as he realized he really needed to have a chat with Naruto, because that mentality and that mental state of his was dangerous. He tried talking to Naruto a few times during the whole part of D-rank missions, but it never worked out as Naruto would ignore his commands, he would just leave on his own, and if Hiruzen tried to find him, Naruto would just vanish from his, glass ball. So due to this, Hiruzen couldn't find a way to even talk to Naruto or bring him over. And to make things even worse, Naruto did not mess with Team 7 at all. Each time Kakashi would try doing teamwork exercises, Naruto would straight up end up leaving and not return. Whenever it was time for chores around the village, Naruto would end up sending a lightning clone and he would do it in an instant, not even getting thanked by the civilian, as Naruto already knew that they would just throw scorn at him or be disrespectful to him, and Naruto was not up for it. Due to this, of course, Kakashi would file a complaint saying that Naruto was not being cooperative, but in the end of the day, Hiruzen couldn't do nothing considering the fact that Naruto was following missions. He was following the procedures. And Hiruzen, even though he can act as if he has the authority, Naruto knows the laws of Konoha in and out. He knows about it. After all, the boy had to live with this unjustworthy system his entire life, so of course he would study up on it, especially since he had time with the academy, as well as he also had resources now. So of course Hiruzen couldn't pull a fast one on him and say that he was breaking the rules. However, eventually something would come that Hiruzen would actually think might actually give the team an opportunity to bond and for Naruto to build some trust. As he now turned to that day. So after a while of Team 7 doing nothing more but completing missions, they eventually end up arriving at Hiruzen's office, as right now every single one of them were covered in dirt except for Naruto, as he was just there calmly putting his hand in his pockets as he was staring at Hiruzen with a blank look, but you could see anger hiding within his eyes. So after this, Kakashi ends up explaining to Hiruzen about the mission that they just completed, and after doing so, Hiruzen would nod, saying that he has other missions for them, but he then stops as he ends up looking at Kakashi, telling him that he had done a lot of the required D-rank missions. Hearing this, the rest of Team 7 would actually perk up, as this is when Hiruzen then shows that it was a C rank mission, saying that thanks to the fact they had completed a necessary amount of D rank missions, they can now go to C rank. This would cause the members of Team 7 to actually be happy, except for Naruto, who still doesn't, like, he just sends off a smirk, but he ends up also like staring at Hiruzen with distrustworthy eyes, as he thinks that Hiruzen is planning something. Now, Hiruzen will be amused of Naruto's expression, as he would then look at Kakashi before telling his Amu to let the man enter. At this, you'll see an old man then enter, as he was currently drunk, as he would then look at the kids right in front of him. Are you kidding me? I'm going to be taken care of by a bunch of brats? What do you guys think is going to happen at the Land of the Waves? How do you guys think the encounter between Zabuza and Naruto is going to go at the Land of the Waves? And overall, what do you guys think of this story in general? It is your host, Seiji Samurai, and this is the end for part 1 to What If Naruto Had Laxus' abilities. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I had so much fun writing this What If. By the way, I'm pretty sure you guys heard, but my voice like gave out like midway, considering the fact like this What If was like legit stressing out my voice due to the fact of how many times I was stuttering. But luckily, it's mostly due to the fact that I have like it's been a while since I've done the What If, so of course I'm gonna mess up here and there. Don't worry, I'm gonna eventually end up returning back to my old swag. But besides that, guys, thank you all so much, and thank you to you guys to actually ignore the stuttering and actually still like the story, as you guys are amazing. And overall, just thank you guys so much for the support in general. Now, I don't want to bore you guys anymore with all this talking, as this video has gone on for long enough. So either way, is your host, Seiji Samurai, and I am out. Peace and have a lovely day.